Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. The month of November is rapidly moving by, and with that, we've got multiple sports playing all at the same time, some closing out seasons, others just getting started. We're going to tell you all about that tonight. I've got guest Helly O'Dana of the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's soccer teams as our guest tonight, and also Jeremy Donahue of the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's cross-country teams. And we're going to talk about both of those teams' seasons. And of course, we're going to recap some things that have happened in the past week in terms of Lincoln Memorial University volleyball. The LMU women's basketball team got the season cranked up on Sunday and played again on Wednesday night. We'll talk to you about that, and we'll talk about the Railsplitter start against Hiwassee last Saturday and their upcoming matchups with both King University on Saturday of this week and next week's battle with conference opponent Mars Hill. It's all coming up on tonight's show. Do stay with us. We've got a lot in store for you. This is the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Back after this.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Welcome back to the show. The Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's soccer teams both recently made the Final Four of the 2013 Food Line South Atlantic Conference tournaments. The Railsplitters eliminated in the semifinal round, while the Lady Railsplitters made it all the way to the championship before falling in a tight match with Wingate's Bulldogs 2-1. Helly O'Dana, head coach of those teams, joins us now. And Coach, this is a season that has been a kind of a roller coaster ride, starting with the men. They started out so hot early in the season. They had some close matches with a lot of overtime matches. Unfortunately, we had big expectations for them. They dropped some of those matches, but then in the end, I think they went on a 4 or 5 match streak where they won and really got back into the race, and it looked as though they might even take the number 2 spot, maybe even the number 1 spot in the league play during regular season, and ultimately they finished as the 4 seed. Lady Railsplitters on the other side of the coin, they started out hot, tailed off toward the end of the season, then picked it up toward the postseason play and really went deep into the championship round.
Well, first of all, this conference has become the premier soccer conference in the nation. You know, by adding Queens and Coker, anybody can beat anybody on any given day of the year, you know, or the week. And if you look at 12 teams, of which only 8 will make to the tournament, you already lost a few great teams behind. But then to make to Rock Hill, both our men and our women, to me is such an accomplishment, you know, particularly because people that made to nationals didn't make it to Rock Hill, you know. But what you describe is correct, and I feel, at least I can say, both teams were playing well at the end, you know, and that's what you shoot for, and that's why we play such a strong schedule, because You might take some hits early, and in hindsight, I wish we took care of some of the games, especially with the men. But the women were in consideration to go to nationals even after losing the conference final, because we played strong enough a schedule and beat some of the top teams. But unfortunately, some upsets in the women's side made it too hard for us to go at large.
In light of the fact that you say the South Atlantic Conference has become the premier league in Division II soccer, you look at the LMU records. I mean, the LMU men finished the year with a 9-8-2 overall record. The Lady Railsplitters were 10-8-1. Yet when you look at the other teams in the league, everybody had losses and ties this year. So that means that this league is just beating up on each other. Do we need to rethink? Does the NCAA need to rethink its regional ranking process to accommodate more of the teams that are really at the top of the game? Or is this process that we have right here an effective way of determining who goes on to the regional tournaments?
Well, I mean, the NCAA, especially in Division II, will always work in regions, you know, and they will claim that on any given year, some regions will be stronger than others, and that's understandable. So I don't think, per se, the process is wrong. What I do think is, especially on the men's side, it's time to have automatic qualification. You know, for those that don't know, if any of our SAC teams won the conference, that does not guarantee them making internationals, to which in the women's side it does. So that automatic qualification, I think it's very, very fair to plead for. We're one of the what's called super regions, and that means there's 3 conferences and they're good enough. So we're taking 6 teams to nationals, and some other regions only take 3 or 4 teams to nationals. So we're getting that much as far as you know, recognition. But I think if you're playing a tournament, and some conferences opted in the men's side not even to have a conference tournament because there's no automatic qualification, to play a tournament as hard as this one, the winner has to go.
Well, 12 teams now in the South Atlantic Conference, and when you look at it, a lot of teams that were among the top teams that were ranked in the region did not make it onto the NCAA tournament because of the beating up on each other throughout the league. Now, all that in mind, you know, recently the South Atlantic Conference presidents got together and voted to lift the scholarship restriction. This league is already competing on a national level. Now, over a period of time, Lincoln Memorial, I know, for instance, will fully fund its men's and women's soccer programs over a 3 or 4 year period. That's going to take us to a different level, because now you're given what other leagues throughout the country are, in many cases, already getting, and we're already competing at the national level. So I think that, in fact, this is the premier league in the country. Now you're moving up there to really take control of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, even in our region, you mentioned that some schools are already getting, even in our conference, some schools are already getting, because some of the charter schools that have been in the SAC this long figure the funny monies. So, you know, I'm not saying they're cheating, no way, and they're doing things by the book, but they figure how to even be fully funded in the old system. So now they capped, you know, I mean, now LMU catches up with them and they cannot go any higher. I mean, the NCAA is the cap. But what you said is true. We're competing in a nation that we're having day in, day out to overcome that factor. But back to the situation that we're in, yes, this is going to be the premier region, the premier conference, but I want to be among the best.
All right, Coach, we've got a very short time on today's program for you here, but again, you finished your men's season 9-8-2. You finished the women at 10-8-1. You lose seniors Callum Holm and Mario Pinto on the men's side. For the women, you lose Michelle Allen, Teresa Doyle, and Sam Adams. The recruiting process starts for you now. We've got less than a minute. Can you summarize what's going to take place for these 2 teams over the next few weeks? Yeah,
fortunately, these are the 2 youngest teams in the conference, so we're returning a lot, especially the starters. But recruiting, as you mentioned, there's a little more money coming into the equation. Recruiting is going to be essential, and as always is, and big shoes to fill, but a lot to build on in terms of momentum from one year to the other.
Well, a lot of excitement this year, Coach. It was Clearly our pleasure to bring you the LMU broadcasts of men's and women's soccer. We hope to do that from a live standpoint in the future, but we're trying to add to the atmosphere around the LMU soccer programs, and we wish you the best of luck in recruiting for 2014.
And excellent job done by you guys, and thank you.
All right. Helio Dana of the LMU soccer teams, and we're back after this on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Top off at mycokerewards.com.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesbrough has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesbrough.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
I will help families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
Welcome back to the show. Another couple of seasons that just came to a close were for the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's cross country teams. Jeremy Donahue, head coach of those programs, joins us in studio now. And recently the two teams competed in the NCAA Southeast Region meet over in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jeremy, I know that in those events you finished 19th and 13th place respectively, and that boasted some of the strongest competition, if not the strongest competition in the country. You had a lot of hard-nosed teams in there that advanced on to the NCAA championships, but I thought that was pretty good showings for two very young teams.
Yeah, they were solid showings, I'd say. We had a little higher goals than that. Looking at the men, we really wanted to duplicate a top 10 performance that we had in the 2012 season. We made a good run for it. We really had three guys up there that were some of the best performances we've had in the last few years out of three guys at the region meet, placing 3 in the top 40, and so they ran very well. Unfortunately, just on the back end, we lost too many points there, too many guys in between our 3 and 4, and so weren't quite able to get into that top 10. And then on the women's side, 19th, again, they ran probably one of their better races of the year. Just a young team on the women's side, not quite ready to get the result that we wanted out of that, but you know, they made progress, ran very competitively, moved up throughout the race. So I was pleased with their effort in the race. We'll just work on that performance.
You and I have talked many times throughout the season, both for audio and for television, and it seems like in talking with you throughout the season that both of your teams off and on have been plagued by injury bugs and various things that have kept them from being at 100%.
Yeah, it's. I guess we've been fortunate this year where cross country, it comes down to your performance in a conference meet at the end of the year and a region meet at the end of the year. So we're not like soccer or basketball where you have to perform in those early season meets or competitions. And not to say we don't take those seriously, but we were fortunate where we had guys out early on in the season and didn't have our whole group running early on. Just one reason or the other, nothing serious on that side, but you know, we just didn't have that group running together. And then on the women's side, yeah, we've had some unfortunate injuries. We definitely missed Abby Yother towards the end of the season. She ran #1 for us at the start of the year and went down with a hip labrum tear, and something I haven't seen before in running, and that really hurts when you lose your #1. And so we've had a few other little injuries, but that was the major one that really hurt us on the women's side.
Now, Abby, of course, came here on a soccer scholarship to play for Heliodana. Because she went down with an injury so early in the year, is there a possibility of getting an NCAA waiver to allow her to compete in another year?
Well, I believe she does have another year for us. Now, with her injury, we'll see how far she could get back, if she will be able to come back, and that's something we'll really take a look at over the next couple weeks, couple months in the off season. But we're hoping she's definitely a strong talent, certainly somebody that could be very successful and high up there in the conference and region. So we're hopeful that it's all going to work out, but we'll really look into it.
If there's an optimistic outlook or a positive outlook on this and the finish that both teams made, it would be the fact that they gained a lot of valuable experience this year, and for the most part, you get a lot of your runners back next year. So as you've already alluded to, you have a very young team, but those freshmen and sophomore are going to turn into sophomore and juniors next year, and juniors and seniors.
Yeah, we're really excited with Ryan and Brandon on the men's side, both returning. They're two of the best in the conference. Regionally, they're going to be very strong next year, and they have good work ethic and going to be able to bring in whoever new guys we bring in. They're going to have the right outlook and right leadership to lead those guys. And then on the women's side, we're very young. Really relied on 3 freshmen this past year for us to step in, maybe quicker than we thought we were going to need them. So they gained valuable experience, really improved, learned how to not just compete, but also the training that goes into the college competition.
Not being a runner, I've had to get educated with cross-country meets over the recent years, and it's a lot like golf in that one runner really can't win the race for you. I mean, you've got to have a good composite total by all the people involved. And that said, when you're competing, especially in the men's bracket, against schools like Mars Hill, who has won, 17 consecutive?
I believe actually 18 now.
Okay, 18 consecutive SAC championships. Is that frustrating for you as a coach when you've got all conference caliber runners returning, yet you face the two-headed monster in Mars Hill every year?
Yeah, we definitely have really had and expanded a little bit on the guys we have at the front, the strength at the front of our teams. But you have to have depth on the teams, and you're not going to be successful if you don't have good 4, 5, 6 runners back there. They can really make a difference for you. And so that is our challenge. We have to improve the depth, and we're working hard on that as coaches to do that.
We've probably got less than a minute in this part of the segment, but I know you really can't allude to any names because of NCAA rules and regulations, but over the next few weeks and months before the next season rolls around, is there anybody in the general area of the tri-state area or within a 50-mile radius that we're looking at in terms of recruiting next year?
Yeah, we have a few from the local area, 1 or 2 that are really important for us to get and hope to land. But for the most part, we've really expanded where we're looking. We have a lot of local athletes on our team, but we've now really expanded that search this year. And Shane Kurtzinger, my assistant, has really been huge and done a great job for us and really locating some talent, and feel like we have a great start on that recruiting trail and improving on the depth that we just talked about.
Well, Jeremy, we want to congratulate you on a great season for both teams, and we certainly look forward to you guys hitting the courses again next year and having you back on the show. But best of luck in the recruiting efforts, and good luck next season.
Thank you.
Jeremy Donahue, head coach of the LMU cross-country teams. Again, we'll take a break, and we'll be back. This is the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
I deal with life and death situations.
We touch a lot of lives every day.
People's lives are in your hands.
I will be a nurse.
I will be a nurse.
The Duncan School of Law at LMU, where innovative teaching meets cutting-edge technology.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The wheel deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
We represent the Coke brand, and we would love to somehow bring some kind of legal action against Coke Zero.
There might be some taste infringement issues.
There's really no legal concepts of a company bringing a lawsuit against itself.
If this is the king of the jungle, they're acting like the toucan that's on the branch, real colorful and preening, and showing off, and hey, look at us. I want to take a stick and knock that toucan off the branch.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Special thanks to our guests, Helio Dana and Jeremy Donahue, for joining us on tonight's show. Let's talk about the last week in LMU athletics. In last Friday evening's volleyball action, Jenny Michael and the Lady Railsplitters won the opening 2 sets 25-23 and 25-17 before allowing the Royals of Queens University to come all the way back with 25-20, 25-23, and 15-7 wins to defeat LMU in 5 sets in South Atlantic Conference play. The loss was the first time this season that the LMU women have dropped back-to-back conference matches, and that's also the first time that they've dropped consecutive matches since September at the USC Aiken Classic. On Saturday, Michael and her Lady Railsplitters traveled over to Salisbury, North Carolina, where they got back on winning track with a 3-1 win over the Indians of Catawba College. LMU rolled up a 25-23 win in the opener, but fell in the second set 16-25 before winning the final 2, 25-14 and 25-14, to improve to 16-11 overall and 12-7 in league play. With the loss and the win, LMU women fell back into second place in the conference standings and back into fourth, entering Tuesday night's road match with Carson Newman. Now, bringing you up to speed, Tuesday evening, the Lady Railsplitters traveled to nearby Jefferson City, Tennessee to take on the Eagles in their final road match of the regular season play, and came away with a grueling 5-set victory to improve to 17-11 overall and 13-6 in league action. LMU sophomore Casey Mency shined in the effort, breaking the school's single-season record for digs, while helping the LMU women come away with a 25-23 win, 24-26, 25-20, 19-25, and 15-6 decision to beat Carson Newman in 5 and to sweep the Eagles both home and away for the 2013 season. After the match, LMU's Scott Erland talked with Michael about the win.
One of the big things that we told our girls going into the 5th set was that we were in control. And it was both in a positive way and in a negative way. When we were doing well and playing our game and being efficient on offense, we won the 1st and 3rd set. But when we got into troubles, when we were making way too many errors, we were hitting into their block, we were hitting out of bounds, we were having reception errors, we were giving the game to them. And there's no team in our conference that we can beat if we continue to give them point after point after point. So we just told them, look, we are in control of this match, and we needed to decide if we were going to be super aggressive and offensive or if we were going to keep making mistakes. And fortunately, we decided to be offensive, and we limited our mistakes in the 5th set. We had 5 people in double-digit kills, and that's one of the things that makes our offense so dangerous is, you know, we don't have a superstar, and we talk about it with our girls that we can all take pride in wins because there's no one person that we have to have carry us or carry the weight of the team. At any given time, there are multiple people in our offense that can score and terminate.
Michael and the Lady Railsplitters play their final 2 regular season matches Friday and Saturday when they host Brevard College Friday night at 7 o'clock and the Bears of Lenore-Rhine on Saturday. That will be senior day for the Lady Railsplitters in the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium, 2 o'clock start for that bout. Turning to men's basketball from Saturday evening, Josh Schertz and the Railsplitters opened the 2013-14 season with a 91-66 win over former LMU head coach Hugh Watson and the Tigers of Hiwassee College. Vincent Bailey poured in 23 points and grabbed 6 rebounds as Curtis McMillian came off the bench to lead LMU on the boards with 7. Redshirt freshman Luquan Choice, junior C.J. Wakely, and senior Chance Jones also scored double figures en route to the Railsplitters' first win of the year. After the game, LMU head coach Josh Schertz was happy for the win, but was realistic that his team's got to get better before they will be a championship caliber team.
Yeah, it's nice to get a win. It's a long break when you lose, and certainly it's been about 8 months since we played. So it's nice to play again. Wish we would have played better. You would think at the rate we play, we could use another 8-month break after tonight, but we don't get that. We got to be back at it, and we just got to improve this week. You can see things in terms of our ceiling, in terms of our talent. You can see different things where we have its potential to be a really good basketball team, and you can see where, like I said, we've got a lot of work to do. We don't know what we're doing yet. We don't guard yet. We don't understand yet necessarily how to play. So a lot of work to do, but we will do it, and I'm looking forward to the challenge down in Bristol on next Saturday.
The LMU men now prepare to take on the Tornado of King College on Saturday. The Railsplitters have defeated King in every meeting since Schertz took over the helm of the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball program in 2008. George Pitt's Tornado has been picked by the head coaches throughout the Conference Carolinas to win the league this year. However, King started off the season on a down note when it lost its opener to the Highland Cavaliers of the University of Virginia College at Wise last Sunday. Since that time, Pitts and company have evened their record at 1-1 with a 131-69 victory over Mars Hill College in Bristol on Wednesday evening. The Railsplitters will square off against the Tornado at 7 p.m. Saturday evening in Bristol. Pre-game coverage begins on the LMU Sports Network at 6:40. And in women's basketball, Roger Hodge and his Lincoln Memorial University Lady Railsplitters traveled to Winston-Salem, North Carolina on Saturday to open the 2013-14 schedule when the LMU women took on the Rams of Winston-Salem State University. The Lady Railsplitters got 20 points from junior guard Asia Roan, but it wasn't enough to overcome a late surge by the Rams in the final minute of play, and LMU gave up a 56-52 loss to fall to 0-1 on the year. Last night, Hodge and the Lady Railsplitters returned to the friendly confines of the Tex Turner Arena to play their home opener against the Mountain Lions of Concord University. The LMU women placed 4 players in double figures and were again led by junior guard Asia Roan with 16 points on the way to their 79-65 win over Concord to improve to 1-1 on the season. After the game, Roger Hodge talked about his team's win.
Yeah, and it's funny, Rusty, when there were times on the bench where the game felt like that Concord was back in it, and excuse me, you'd look up and we were still up 18 to 20 points and kind of held that lead there right until the end there. But I think you're right. I think we answered runs. Our effort and intensity when they would begin to step it up, we kind of met that a little bit and made enough plays to keep them at bay.
The LMU women are now idle until next Wednesday's bout with Mars Hill College in their conference opener. That'll be over in Mars Hill, North Carolina. That is a 6 o'clock tip-off between the Lady Railsplitters and the Lions. It'll begin with pregame coverage at 5:40 on the LMU Sports Network. That's WLMU 91.3 FM. The World Wide Web at www.lmurailsplitters.com and at 913thegap.com. And one other final story from Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. Ryan Kuhn has been selected to lead the LMU athletic department into a new era as he was chosen among the strong field of candidates to become the first director of lacrosse in the school's 100-plus year history of athletics. According to Kuhn, I would like to thank Dr. Dawson Rajavanoy and the search committee for his amazing opportunity to be part of the LMU family, stated Kuhn. He's very excited to get the ball rolling and to begin building a strong foundation for lacrosse at LMU. Folks, that's it. That's all the time we've got for tonight. Until next week, for everybody behind the scenes of Lincoln Memorial University's Railsplitter Athletics Report, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.